Well, we have a great dedication to children, having 8 children. When Makash and I got married, he had 4, and I became a stepmom to 4, and then we had 4 together. And all through our journey, very devoted to the kids, and starting a number of schools, birthing them consciously. That's been a strong path for us, and all very gentle births, and so very committed to the whole process from preconception all the way through. So our kids were raised, I would say, in this environment, even though we weren't here at Hummingbird at that time. They definitely were raised in the culture that we and others bring to Hummingbird. And we absolutely want to have kids here in the future. Our grandkids who live just a little ways away, very much been raised in this culture and in the environment of being in rural New Mexico. And it's so great, just the values that are strongly embodied in them. And even though they get a little restless, I think it's a little hard for teenagers here because we're pretty remote. I think that kind of feeling like I'm ready for a bigger scene. But hopefully by the time that we've got teenagers here, that there's going to be so much activity that's going to excite young people. Engage them, I should say, rather than excite them.
Yeah, I like that.
That won't be as much of an issue. And I think to be raised close to the earth and nature, doing things that are wholesome, eating in a really wholesome, nutritional way, and really learning the values to how to walk a sacred walk is core.
Yeah, and I think also the elders modeling for the younger ones so that if they do go out, they know unconditional love and they can come back in. Say why our kids have to go through this system of shame and blame, because that's what I got when I was in school. It was totally shame institutions. Turn off the television, they enculturate your kids. And I'd say, why do we have to go through pain and suffering? The only way I could resolve it was homeopathy. In other words, you're eating the poison in order to transform the poison into medicine, which is one of Jeremy's lines in one of his songs. To be able to have a place where the kids are recognized that they're not our possessions. And like we don't tell Jeremy what to do, or you should be religious, you should, they form their own reality. They're our coaches. The new ones coming in are telling us what we're doing. and they feel strong that they honor the elders also, because they know they walk upon the shoulders of the elders, that have made those deep commitments, putting 2 feet in this new world. Because you can't, you can straddle worlds, but until you make it and step in total trust, it's a big one. Most people can't. It's hard for them to make that shift. But it's happening over and over again. So I think that the young ones are starting to come now. We're seeing, and we knew that we need that vital energy here, and we need our schools, because we know how to create schools that will really empower and draw forth wisdom, which education is supposed to do. Catherine always said, what are we educating our children for? Educating them to fit into the dominant culture, and not to have reflection or elders to mirror or to share with some wisdom, and give them the kind of empowerment to follow their soul's guidance, which we all want. And I often say the only reason I'm doing what I'm doing is to be able to create a community for me to reincarnate in. That's functional.
Beautiful. Yeah. Sneaky.
Ricky.
I like that.
The Hummingbird program specifically is for couples that are ready to conceive and want to really be developing that relationship with the soul of the child that they're to bring in, either through their own beings, or maybe it's through adoption. It could be through many means. And we're working with couples who are actively in communication with the souls and being guided by them. These particular couples that are very conscious of their connection and going through great changes, whether it be physical preparation of their bodies or emotional clearing. We call it aligned conception, and then conscious pregnancy and birth, knowing that the time that the baby is in utero is the most influential time in our whole journey. What happens, the imprinting that happens during that time, and the
condition of the parents.
And not that all that can't be completely transformed, as you've so beautifully demonstrated, but that the to know as parents to take responsibility for that time and what the influence that's happening, and to help educate parents. That's kind of the beginning of the whole life curriculum and goes through every era on feeling the importance of rites of passage, to really honor the sacred movement, becoming adolescents.